is rhino country. Confluence of the Sengwe River and the Great Kariba Lake in Rhodesia. Rhodesia has the second largest population of black rhino in Africa. They are concentrated in this area but are in danger of becoming extinct. An attempt to preserve these black rhinos is being made by the Department of National Parks Wildlife Management, who have undertaken to capture 48 of these 2-ton armor-plated prehistoric-looking beasts and transport them over 200 miles to the famous Wankie National Game Park, and there to set them free. The rhino is injected with a morphine-based drug in a dart fired from an air-powered rifle. The greatest care must be taken in the preparation of these darts to ensure that just the right amount of morphine is administered. Too much could result in the rhino's death. Too little would only make him drowsy. A properly drugged animal should remain under the influence of the morphine for 10 to 11 hours, in theory. In order to penetrate the rhino's thick hide and produce the desired results, the dart must be fired from a range of about 10 paces. As the rhino is a cantankerous, ill-natured, fractious beast, this close range work is extremely dangerous, and the rangers always carry a .470 double with them. Once the dart has been prepared, the most difficult part of the operation commences, that of tracking down a suitable rhino. A fresh spoor is established and the trackers come into their own. The long and tedious process of following it up to its owner begins. The trackers know all the signs of the bush. A freshly chewed branch tells its own tale to them. It means that the rhino is not far off. Sometimes the trail peters out, and the party splits up to search for clues. If one of the trackers relocates the spoor, he signals his colleagues by imitating a bird call, so as not to arouse the rhino's suspicion, should he be in the immediate vicinity. Rhinos often indicate their presence by chewing loudly, and the trackers are quick to take advantage of this, listening intently for the characteristic munching sound. Oxpeckers have a habit of hanging round rhinos and act as watchdogs to the animals. The slightest hint of impending danger sets them off. This alarm applies equally to the tracker, for he knows that the rhino is near and therefore proceeds with the utmost caution. The rhino in this instance fortunately paid little attention to the oxpecker's shrill words of warning and settled down to a somewhat apprehensive doze. Once the quarry has been accurately pinpointed, one tracker and the warden go in for the finale. Although rhinos are in dire need of optical crutches, their senses of hearing and smell are acute, and the trackers, well aware of this, always strive to keep upwind, shaking their ash bags to detect any change in the wind's direction. The dot must be shot into the buttocks, neck or shoulders, and usually takes about 15 minutes to take effect. This rhino has not received the prescribed dosage of morphine as the needle was obstructed on impact, so cautious handling will be necessary to avoid injury to both parties. A penicillin and terramycin injection will be given later to prevent infection setting in. A runner is sent back to the main camp, where a lorry and crew is continually standing by to be dispatched at a moment's notice to collect the captive. The crew, who usually have to cut their own roads through the dense Rhodesian undergrowth, keep themselves happy by singing songs that they have made up about their work. A rough note of the animal's proportions is taken while awaiting transport, but a more detailed evaluation will be taken back at the main camp. A comprehensive record is kept of all measurements. All the rhinos are earmarked with identification tags, so that a scientific survey can be kept of their movements in their new environments. Back at the main camp, life goes on. Catching rhinos builds up a healthy appetite, and meals must be prepared for the hungry hunters when they return. Winches, crowbars, and a lot of sweat and planning will be necessary to get this semi-conscious 2-ton fury into the pen, and everyone is eager to lend a hand. After the detailed measurements are recorded in the book, the rhino's horn is branded. This causes no pain whatsoever, as the horn is composed of tightly compressed matted hair. The hole will then be sealed with a plastic putty plug. The antidote, lethidrone, is administered, and the captured animal's rate of recovery will depend on the amount of morphine that has been absorbed. This particular rhino revived in a matter of minutes. It takes about a week for them to calm down and become quite tame. Lucerne and the branches of the mtawa tree constitute their diet while in captivity. They are not averse to eating this from the warden's hands. The animal will later be moved through a series of pens, to the last of which a large reinforced crate is attached. Once it has familiarized itself with the crate, the rhino will be coaxed into it and placed on a waiting truck to be transported to its final destination, Wankie National Game Park.
At the end of each day, warden, trackers and labourers relax by the fireside, knowing that another rhinoceros is safely on its way to a new life in a new world.
Malume,